So y'all, this is the Girls Us Slick Talk. I'm Hunny. And
I'm Jasmine.
Can they hear you?
I don't know, but I had to take mine off because, yes. Yes, welcome to our podcast. We are on YouTube. We are on Google.
We're on Google. We're on Linktree, Instagram, Facebook.
So we're trying this Clubhouse shit out for the first time.
Yeah, this is our first time, so definitely.
We are going to allow people to raise their hands, chime in, whatever you want to say, you can say here. We are not those people who just talk and don't let nobody else talk.
Right, because we don't want to talk at y'all, but we actually want y'all input. We are recording episode 4, and
so y'all going to be a part of episode 4. You're welcome.
Yes. All right. Hold on, I wish you could get yours on. So
it's like I can, but then there's going to be a feedback.
So hold on, try it, and maybe I'll mute my line. So you try it, and I'll mute mine.
Okay, let me see.
All right, cool.
We're going to do it on this one. We need to make a Clubhouse.
Is it? There we go.
Clearly.
Yes, we're going to end up making a club for this. That way, we actually can chime in and do a little better at this. But let's face it, the first few days here of 2021 have definitely been a hectic one. We've had a lot of things happening, from certain influential people actually passing away. Let's talk about this Capitol Hill.
My God. Like, what? First and foremost, let's talk about the celebrities that chime in for no apparent reason.
Correct.
Let's just put it out there. Carrie Hilson, you need to relax.
Yes.
I commented on that this morning because I am sick of people misinterpreting laws and amendments. The amendment is freedom of speech, correct?
Correct.
It does not apply to private apps and businesses like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. These are private entities. He still has freedom of speech. He just can't speak on their platform because of their laws and their terms and conditions. Like, we're not stripping Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump. J is for genius because that's what his supporters say.
But hold up, but genius
started with
literally
got
How genius
on
is that?
The news and said Donald J. Trump and the J is for genius. So we're gonna let the geniuses have it, but his freedom of speech is not stripped away because Twitter blocked him. He can still speak freely as he wants to. You just can't do it on Twitter.
Correct.
And people like Carrie Hilson, like black people who have a big following, stop coming out and spreading things that aren't accurate. Like, it's very irresponsible because not only...
Because you're misusing your platform. I mean, like I said, freedom of speech, you have to think about this. Facebook, even though there's millions of people on this, using this platform, worldwide, it's still a private business entity. That's just like walking in my home and I tell you, I don't want you to say smoke in here. It's the same thing.
Right.
So just because you feel like someone is not letting you say what you want on their website or their social media platform, create your own. That's another thing. And there are a lot of them out here, just like Clubhouse is.
Exactly.
So,
talk your talk. Just don't talk that shit on Twitter because he ain't having it.
Correct.
And Carrie Hilson, I'm sorry, but I'm not listening to Pretty Girl Rock. I'm not listening to shit else you got because you decided to speak out and not on our behalf. It was so much other shit going on, and that's what you decided to give your attention to. And I don't like that shit. Sorry, not sorry. So, for all you Carrie Hilson fans, I had to put her in her place on the Shade Room because that shit is uncalled for. But, just getting on the topic of the Capitol shit that happened up there, it was barbaric. It was very, 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 very barbaric. Like, there's no other word to describe what happened on Capitol Hill but barbaric.
Yeah, I mean,
that was not a protest. That was not a peace rally. That was not we're trying to get shit accomplished. That was solely, we're here to show y'all that we feel like we can do whatever we want,
when we want, and how we want. Yeah. Period. I mean, that's the way that I saw everything on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I was a few hours late to that party because I was working. and I just started seeing the posts coming in. And, I'll be honest with you, it looked like something out of a movie.
Yes.
Is somebody raising their hand? No. I want to make sure we don't miss them.
Right. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Ashley.
Let us know if you want to chime in. They want to come in? Want to invite them in? Hold on. So there you go.
Hey, Tiff. Hey, boo. Hey, we're recording our 4th episode on the podcast. And so we're letting Clubhouse get a peek into our episode 4.
Yep.
Okay, cool. What's the topic?
So we're talking about, right now we're talking about Capitol Hill and bullshit. But this podcast is going to be solely about New Year's resolutions, new mindsets, new goals, new, just new. 2021, we're trying to come, you already know how we get down, Tiff. Trying to come as hard as we can. But right now we're speaking on Capitol Hill, if you have anything to speak on that.
All I know is I'm about to fight the Cucamonga cracker killers because I've been by a bunch of white people and they showing out, okay? And I ain't got time. I work too hard to live where I live, so if y'all want it, I got it for you.
Exactly. And that's exactly where we're at with it. It's like, at this point, it's everybody needs to be prepared because that was not the ending of what's going to come for years.
I feel like it was a turning point in pretty much solidifying how black people have already been treated here in America. You got to think about this. If they were able to do that, your home is not safe. I mean, look at how much security is at a Capitol building. Like you were just talking about the girl that actually got killed just for hitting the fence.
Right.
So it's like
U-turn.
You got to think about
what you guys have to remember is a lot of the leaders of their party, the Proud Boys, work in the Capitol building. So
and that's a fact.
That they broke in or they were let in.
And that's what I said. I said they definitely just opened the door. There was no.
Listen, they started releasing security footage, and there's footage of one of the state representatives from Tennessee that literally opened the side door and let them walk in.
Yeah,
because there was so many of them that walked in. It's like something wasn't right about that at all. Period.
And then look at the arrests have started. Look at how many state representatives have been arrested. Of course, we didn't know who they were because they were in regular clothes and they weren't wearing anything that identified them as state representatives. But now that the arrest and names are being released, it's like, oh, y'all are people of power doing this.
Yep.
And see, I think that's crazy because these are the same people that you're expecting to, as people say, get their stimulus money from. You're expecting them to make laws to protect you. So it's like if they're letting this happen freely, they're not for us. It's like, to me, I just kind of feel like it was a wake-up call for black people. Like, if you always felt like everything was a conspiracy theory, it's not. It's real. And we do need to start being more aware. We do need to start creating our own, pretty much our own, period. Those two words right there, everything is our own banking system, our own education system, even our medical system. We really need to start thinking about what is the future for Black America. I mean, because obviously white America is going to do what it wants. Yep. The system was never created for us to move forward and for us to progress, period. That's exactly how I feel.
I feel that way too.
I do. It's just, it's hard. I mean, like you said, I guess it just hit home with me, from, like I said, we're sitting here recording and, my boys are down the hall and I'm just like, it just makes me wonder what kind of America are we leaving for our children or our grandchildren? What is it going to look like? My son asked me, what is it going to look like in 20 or 30 years? And I said, baby, honestly, as a parent, I'm scared to even answer that because it's like, I don't know. You don't know. When you got your kid watching the news, seeing all this stuff happen, you always tell them that, oh no, there's protections out there. But they just saw the Capitol building get overturned this week by people that are supposed to run it.
Right.
And make laws for you and your safety and well-being. I don't know. I feel like I've lost faith in the system, that was created. I mean, it wasn't a lot of faith there to begin with. I just feel like now it's none.
Now, I will say this. When it comes to our children and our youth, they're a lot smarter than we think they are.
Correct.
One thing is, I will say, because my daughter's 15, okay? Where I live, it's majority Caucasian where I live.
Same here.
So when talking to my daughter, her high school had Black Lives Matter marches.
Okay.
Like these teenagers, they're not with it, and that's what's going to happen. That's where the way the system has been working. That's where changes are going to come. Because granted, there is a flip side. These kids are defiant. They are. These teenagers nowadays are cut from a different cloth.
Yes, they are.
But they're not with the shit. Like, when I tell you, seeing these young kids, these teenagers, having their standoffs, and even where I live, it's the older generations who are like, these black people need to go. But the young kids are like, no, we're all here together, and we're standing together.
So it's kind of like Generation X against the baby boomers.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, we outnumber them. I've been seeing that. But statistically, we do outnumber the baby boomers. When you like our company, I won't name the name, but the last two companies I've actually worked for that were really large, and we had to do statistics, just from a hiring perspective, and we were talking about like learning curves and things of that nature. And yes, the baby boomers, they are a third of what this new generation is. So I think that's where, like you said, the true change is going to come. And I think that's too inciting fear on the other side. Because you got to think about this. They've had a system that has ran for how many years? And now they're starting to see people buck their system. So maybe it's making them a little more radical themselves.
And also, you have to think about it like this. In a technological world that we live in now. Me being 37, okay? When I was younger, I learned about the world from my parents, my grandparents, aunts, and uncles. From them. That's how I knew what was right and wrong. That's how I knew how to treat people. That's what I was taught. And we all know that you are not born to hate people. Right, you learn to hate people because that is what you are taught. The difference with the kids nowadays is they have more teachers. So yes, my grandpa might be telling me, these black people ain't nothing, whatever, but I'm seeing on social media that they the shit. So it's like, there's more voices and more things feeding into them. Where they're like, okay, I know you're saying this, but I'm seeing this, and I think I like this over here a little better. Like, I agree more with this. So you have more resources and more ways of them getting the knowledge. Granted, it may not all be positive, but they're getting it from so many different sources. It's not just, you can't rely on this generational passing it down. Now, there are some that have that strong of an influence where that hate is still being transferred, but it's a lot less now because these kids are like, nah, I see something totally different over here, and I'm not trying to hear what you're trying to say.
Well, you got to think, too, I think we're more inclusive when we do things now. Like you said, social media has tied a lot of people together. I mean, I know this just from doing business. I actually have more support from people I haven't met, and we've collabed and done some pretty amazing things. So I know if it's affecting us in business, it definitely has to be affecting every other aspect of our lives as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So with that said, what are y'all New Year's resolutions? Because if we're seeing how the world is shifting, so I just want to know, what do people want to do and change to kind of put themselves further in life? Because that's the biggest goal, is to put yourself further in life. And what better way to do that than to start your new year off right?
Well, I know, and this is me, honey. One of my New Year's resolutions I actually made true the end of last year, and that was to become a full-time entrepreneur. So,
whoop, 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 whoop.
Yes. And with doing that, I'm going to make sure I specify to y'all, it's not easy, it's not simple, and it's not quick. And the reason I'm saying that is because even using this Clubhouse platform, I notice a lot of people tend to get up here in these rooms. They have millions of followers, and, people keep using those 3 words right there, and it's not. I think that we need to be very transparent moving forward with entrepreneurship, just what it really is, and what it takes to be one. Jazz, I know you can chime in on that one because you've been doing it now, 2 years?
January 28th will be
full-time?
The end of my second year, starting my third year of full-time entrepreneurship, because I was sick of working for people. Like, it's just, at the end of the day, they want their dreams to come true. They want their visions to take place. And if you're starving your vision and it's not helping, you do better for you, then you got to leave. Like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be booked all the time. At that point, I didn't care. It was, I know I have to give all of my attention to my business, and that's what I got to do. So 2019, that's what I did, and I've been booked every day since January 28th, 2019.
And that's what, oh gosh, big ups, big applaud, definitely. Oh no, go ahead and chime in.
First of all, I'm definitely proud of you guys. Definitely proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, I would say my New Year's resolution or my goal for 2021 is to sow into myself as much as I sow into other people.
Come on now. Girl, Tiff, you over here speaking.
Woo.
I was just saying, it's not that I'm tired of helping people, but I'm tired of helping people that don't want to help themselves. That shit is irritating.
And my problem is, I'm a big supporter. Jazz, you already know.
Yes.
My clients get their hair done in Atlanta, Jasmine.
Yep.
And you can refer me, Jasmine.
Yep.
But it's like I sow into other people so much that when it's time for me to grow my business, I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm tired. I don't have the energy. And granted, I'm grateful for where I am. I just know I can go so much further.
Yep.
But I just don't have the energy to do it or the means because I'm so tired after I help everybody else.
Yep.
So this year I want to do better at doing for me. I still want to help people because I feel like that's what catapults.
Yeah, that's just us. That's just
Stop making me last.
So my question to that is, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been, running different businesses since 2013. And I feel like the reason why I have not been able to fully reach my potential where I am now was because I spent a lot of time helping other people. Do you feel that is a cultural trait that has been passed down like through our families? Like we just naturally feel like we owe those around us, or do you just feel like that's just something that is just?
I don't think it's cultural for me. I can only speak for myself. I don't feel that it's cultural. I feel it's more of how I was raised.
Okay.
Because how I was raised, my father was older. My dad was born in 1935. My dad was born in New York. My grandfather was born in New York. So you're not coming from a slave mentality.
Correct.
My dad's philosophy was always, I got here because I asked questions. I got here because I was willing to, do things for free until I learned the craft. I sewed stuff. So my dad's thing was always you reap what you sow. If you sow good, good will come back to you tenfold. So that's why I've always wanting to help people, and I feel like I wouldn't be where I am in my career. And Jazz, Jazz knows, where we are as far as our NFL clients. Like I've been to multiple Super Bowls. I've been to multiple All-Star games. And this is all because of the work that I put in where my clients appreciate it and then want to bless me on the other end.
Correct.
But it comes to a point where I want to do more for myself. Like I love the fact that I'm seeing, braiders that I've trained who are making six figures. I love to see braiders that I've trained who are braiding overseas. I love to see, I love that. But then it's like, well, Tiff, what have you done for you?
Correct.
What have you done to push yourself to the next level?
Right.
Because I don't want to be stagnant. And that's where I feel I am right now. It's like, okay, you have the NFL clients. You're booked 2 months in advance. You've braided in other countries. What's next?
Right.
Because if you don't find what's next, then I'm going to become stagnant and I'm going to end up back at Verizon.
Correct.
Which is what I don't
Look, she's like, we not letting that
happen. No, ma'am.
No. Look, tell them we not going backwards in 2021.
Right. That's why I got to keep people around me that are doing bigger and better things. And that's why, Jazz, I tell you so much. Like, you motivate me, man. Because...
Look,
no, nigga, you motivate me.
I
see Jazz, Jazz is me 3 years ago. Like, when I was just grinding. And it's like, okay, I've hit that point now. I got the NFL clients. I have the NBA clients. But then it's like, okay, what's next? But Jazz, when I tell you, you keep me pushing, man, I'm like, all right.
Yes, we gotta give applause to Jazz.
Y'all, first of all, y'all know I know my birthday is 12 days, but y'all ain't gotta pipe me up like that.
Jazz, how long have I been sitting in your chair?
For a long time, before locks.
And what I'm saying is like I've ran businesses and stuff, but until like we really connected, and like I said, I've watched your grind. I've been able to see, I've seen your story from your beginning. You get what I'm going, and I got to see the hustle. It actually made me change up how I do business because it's like, wait a minute. No one's going to take your business more serious than you are. Period.
True.
And that was something I had to realize, like you said, with the way that you were raised. I was raised in the church, so a lot of times, I'm not gonna say it was a guilt thing, but it was more like my family raised you to be where whoever makes it is the one that got to fuel back into the rest of us. I mean,
no, for real.
No, seriously, that's just. But guess what? When you raised like that, a lot of people, my family didn't see it that way. It was, and I know this personally from, to give shout outs to my mom. I watched my mom do a lot to excel, but I feel like her and my father could have went a lot farther if they just would have sometimes kind of told people no. And I think that's a word that people aren't comfortable hearing. We hate it because, it means that it's a form of rejection, but you have to also look at it from that other person's perspective. Why did they tell me no? I think that's a question that we have to start asking ourselves when someone tells you no. I mean, unless it's the bank or I'm going to, apply for a loan for a car or a house. It's like if it's a person, maybe that person's going through something to where they can't tell me yes right now. And I think people have to start taking their emotions out of it when they ask for help.
Maybe helping you is going to hurt me.
Correct. And it's just like, I just feel like that mindset, it definitely needs to be one that changes, like you said, not just culturally, but just in families in general, because I think we both had that same background there. Your families raised you to give back, but they didn't teach you how to tell people no.
And this is the thing, and when I say rest in peace to my dad, I love him for this. Okay, so with my family, it's 7 of us, okay? I'm the only girl. Ooh. My dad always taught us, because my brothers play sports, and it was like this. One person is not going to take care of this family. You all are going to be able to hold your own. Yes, I want you to help each other, but everybody's going to have their own lane. Mm-hmm. And when I look at us now, like, my parents were really strict, but we did stuff as a family. We traveled as a family. My dad, like, he made it his business for us to see different things, to travel, like, we got to see really what life was outside of Rochester, New York. Like, Rochester's not the end all be all. Y'all going to, see what else the world has to offer. Mm-hmm. And when I look at us now, one of my brothers is a professor. My other brother, he's a supervisor for Child Protective Services, and he's only 34 years old. Like, when I tell you, of all 7 of us, nobody's ever been to jail. Nobody has ever, been in any trouble. Like, we all have college degrees. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's like, we, growing up, we're like, man, our parents are strict. Like, they honest. But then when you look hindsight, like, yeah, they knew what they was doing. Like, okay.
Yeah, you got to look at hindsight.
Right, because it's like, I always thought my mom was so mean, and like me and my friends from high school.
But you know what? They were preparing you for this world that's even meaner. You feel me? This world is not pretty.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Who those condoms?
Yes.
Not for real though.
So how do you think that, like the way you were raised, like, in like the whole giving back perspective? Because I know the challenge that I am personally met with a lot of times is when I tell someone no, and I'm putting this out here on this podcast for those that's listening, 2021, I'm just going to go and put it out here. It's going to be a no year for me and Brian, period. Because we have given to so many people. We've allowed, grow from everything. I mean, we've had people in our homes. We've helped them, launch stuff. We've helped them do business. We've paid bills. But I feel like we have to sometimes just say, hey, I'm going to focus on us for 365. We have to for us to launch forward. Are you met with those challenges?
Well, it's not that I met with those challenges because, like, my mom was just, like, alpha female. Right. So that's where I get it from.
Okay.
And the only person that I've learned to give back to community or people is from my grandma. Because she's a give backer. Like, she'll give her last for everybody. Ooh. And I have learned through her, and I've realized that sometimes when you give too much, it's a hindrance.
It is.
Because just speaking from experience, different people who I've helped in this industry, you can't help people more than they want to help themselves. Bingo. And it's very frustrating because you know their potential, you see their work, and you see what they can do, but they don't have it in them. And I post this all the time. The hustling mindset, you can't teach that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can show people all day. Like, I show people all day how it looks to hustle.
Yep.
But you cannot teach it. If it ain't in you, it ain't in you. And
yep.
it's just, I have to learn that you can't teach people that.
Correct.
You can show people, and you can tell them, but you can't teach them.
Correct.
Because they gotta want it more than you want it for them. Like, and it's frustrating because I know it's, well, from my perspective, it's easy. Because that's just how I was raised. If you need something, you go get it. I don't understand. I don't understand the other side. I don't understand how people can need something.
And I probably need to put. I'm gonna put this on a shirt.
Yeah, I don't know how people can. Yeah, I don't understand excuses. I don't know how people could need something
and not go work
and
for
not
it.
get it. Like I don't. It's beside me how people can live like that. And it's okay. Everybody ain't meant to be a hustler. Everybody ain't meant to be doing that. Some people are meant to be workers.
Yeah.
Some people are meant
Look, we need
work
somebody to support
you.
these businesses that we growing.
What you're really
yes. And that's the key. Identifying what you bring to the table and bring it to the table.
Correct.
But that comes from the foundation of knowing what your strengths are.
Come on.
You met my daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
My daughter, beautiful personality. Diane knows how to braid, but does not like people. So I would never expect my daughter to be a braider.
Right.
Because she's people friendly. If she fool with you, she fool with you. If she don't, you're gonna know. That's just. But I know that about her. So Jaya would work a better job when she's by herself. Where she doesn't always have to be around.
Right.
That's the reality of my child. So I would never push on her. Oh, because your mom's a master braider and travels. No, she not by no means. Like,
exactly.
My mom was a teacher. My dad was a systems analyst. I'm not doing stuff with computers. I don't have to do with things.
So you know what I think the key thing is there is like you said, understanding the strengths, but also too, I think, especially with us being entrepreneurs, because like you said, your daughter's 15 and my oldest is 16. I think as parents, it's important for us to start showing them ways to monetize
and my oldest
their
is
skill.
10 months.
Milan
is 10 months.
We gonna keep her on Instagram. She gonna be a show dog.
Where she at?
But she ain't there with Malik, but they watching the.
Oh yeah,
watching the babies.
Okay. She's 10 months.
But that was actually a blunt conversation that I had with my oldest son Malik. I sat down with him and was just like, hey, look, you see everything that me and your dad are doing, and I don't ever want my children to feel like they were forced into a family business, because when you watch all these shows and movies, you kind of see kids and they're like, well, I didn't really want to do this anyway.
Right.
But,
I said it felt like I had to.
Right. I don't ever want nobody to feel like they had to do anything when it comes to me. That's just how I am, family or not. And I just feel like it's important for us to realize, even with our kids or people around us, realize what their strengths is, and if they want to monetize it, help them. Like him, I'm showing him different ways that he can monetize his skills. He loves gaming. He loves Adobe. Both of my kids love Adobe. So, I had to sit down as a parent and say, you know what? If they want to go to college, great. I need to put these things in place for them. If they don't, I think now we just have to learn how to be more flexible with our kids when it comes to that. And just helping them through it, because I know on my end, my dad is old school. He was one of those, you either go to college or go in the military. Well, I went in the military and still came home. So,
period.
It wasn't for me.
You braided hair and didn't go to class. So,
right. But hold on, this is the catch though. This is the one thing my dad used to always say, and I love my daddy, Tim Johnson. He told me, he said, go out here and get a job. You want to get, he always knew 6 figures was a thing for me. He's like, you want to get to 6 figures, go get a job. My thing is, I don't have a college degree. I made 6 figures. So I shattered every truth that was taught to me by my family. I've did that. I've conquered this. And I think like how you said, what's next for Tiff? That's the same way I felt. Like, I did all this without a freaking degree. I have certificates. I am certified in everything that I do.
Yeah, like I went to hair school.
Right. So, I am certified. Those that wonder, because validation is everything these days. But at the same time, I started feeling like, okay, this wasn't me. It was like, what am I doing this for? And I think now, as a parent, or just even like you said, reaching back into the community, how do we raise this next generation to keep things going?
I feel like it's like, and even as a parent, like I've kind of failed at this because I am a single parent. So for many years, I felt like I had to make up for dad not being there.
Okay.
Which of course is catching up with me now. Now I have a spoiled little brat. But at the same time, it's little things that I used to do with my family as a child that I'm bringing back while I still have Jai in the house for the next 3 years.
Right.
For example, Thanksgiving, right? So for my family growing up, we did not eat Thanksgiving dinner until we went and fed the homeless first.
Amazing.
So Thursday morning, we went to this church that was not far from our house, and we would feed the homeless family Thanksgiving dinner before we went home and ate our food. We would make sure they ate first. Christmas, you got 3 gifts. There was a big family gift because it's all those boys, so pretty much it was either a game system, new games, or something like that. And then each person got 3 gifts. You got a gift you asked for, a gift you needed, and a gift our parents just wanted to bless you with. Those were your 3 gifts. Birthdays, we didn't have big parties. We went on trips. We created memories. We had experiences. Like that's what we did. And I did start doing that with Jaya for her birthday, and it just so happened her birthday is March 30th, so it's always around spring break. So we out. She done been to, we did Disney one year, we did Miami, we did LA, we did New York. Like all the places she would tell me she wants to go, that's where we go celebrate her birthday.
That's funny. Our kids just said that. They just said that. Like literally this past Christmas, we gave them, like, we started in October and we were like, let us know what you want for Christmas. And do you know their list literally had hardly nothing on it?
Yeah.
And we were just kind of, and I told Brian, I said, are we good parents or are they just scared to ask?
Right. But then it's like, do I give you too much during the year so that way when Christmas
right. So Christmas didn't mean nothing or what? But when one thing that both of them told us was that they just wanted to spend time with us. And I think that, I had my downtime when I caught COVID last year. I caught COVID in August.
I had COVID in December. I already know.
Yeah, so
I was home for Christmas.
Oh, right. So, the kids were kind of looking like, I think last year just really made us all appreciate one another. And it made I hopefully I can speak for other families that are going to listen to this. I hope that 2020 definitely made you closer with those that mean the most to you. Because family sometimes isn't always blood. That's one thing I realized was,
That's for sure.
But it definitely made me connect with my kids more. And like you said, taking the trips and just creating those memories, they definitely mean a whole lot more than a gift. Now, I ain't gonna lie, we still spoiled them Jazz know, their PS5 downstairs. But I can tell you this much. They don't even like playing it unless we're playing it with them, which I think is crazy. Like
it's like you said, 2020 made you do things you never thought you would do. Like I'm making TikToks with my 15-year-old doing dance challenges. Like,
yeah, he made me activate my account again. So we're kind of sitting here like, oh, okay, we got to get on TikTok. So I'm pretty sure you'll start seeing those videos.
No, for real.
Go ahead, Jazz. Put me on up there.
No. First of all, we all know, if anybody know me, you know I got 2 left feet. There would be no dancing.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I definitely think that, like you said, we're just reflecting like on those New Year's resolutions. Family. I'm going to have to say that's going to be my second one that really I just want to focus on this year. Just family. Family, business.
Yeah, mine is open my shop by winter 2021. So December there will be a physical.
Twist it up hair bar.
There will be a physical twisted up hair bar.
Woo, woo.
And so I'm just gearing toward just marketing this whole year and
growing your brand
and growing my brand so that way I'll have stylists that wants to work.
And I'll have somewhere to work when I come to Atlanta.
Yes. Look, you already know. I'm going to save you a good little cozy spot.
Oh, and you know what? That's a good thing too right there. Collaboration.
Yeah.
I think 2020 definitely taught more people about collaboration.
How to work together.
Right, because, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the entrepreneurship, just business on the lane was getting to be a little selfish and a little cliquey. And what I'm saying is just from a marketing perspective, because I run social media accounts. I feel like people felt like it wasn't attainable, and they just felt like people were just siloed, and they didn't want to reach down and help one another. I mean, prime example, even using Clubhouse, you see where people are just like, yo, we need to come together and we need to work. So if you didn't learn nothing else from 2020, it's definitely build your team, keep the solid ones around, of course, let the fake ones fall.
Come on, bye.
Bye. But look, Big B, going somewhere. But and like I said, just working together, and I like the unity of it all. I think that's the big thing, moving forward. And that's another thing, too, with social media. I just try not to dwell on the negative because, you do have a lot out there. You want to focus on the positive. This is a little keynote to y'all listening. Try to focus on those positives. Don't compare yourself to nobody.
Oh, my God. That's probably the most annoying thing that you can do is compare yourself to people.
Yeah, because you're coming in on chapter... Look, hold on. I'm 36. I'm going to say right now, you're coming in on chapter 36.
Oh, y'all the same age.
Look, so I'm like, every year is a journey. And for those that are listening, watching, maybe even following us, some people, they'll say, well, I want to be where you are. I'm like, but baby, I've been building this consistently since forever.
A long time, yeah.
It's little pieces that have taken place throughout my life that got me where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people, don't compare your chapter 1, 2, or 1 through 5 to somebody's 20, because in that case, you're going to always be delayed. You got to appreciate your own journey. That's something I want everybody that's listening or watching when we decide to do some video. But but we want to make sure
you don't know what I had to do or what I had
right.
to do.
They don't understand that hustle or the no's that you've heard, the things you've had to go without. Because let's face it, we do make entrepreneurship look pretty, and I ain't gonna lie, it's because and easy. But it's a lot of work to this, and it's not built overnight. I don't care what nobody say. The word overnight success is a fucking fraud to me, because I feel like nothing happened overnight except for getting a nut, period. So
listen, if it's overnight success, it means somebody else did the work and you just jumped on the back.
Yeah, somebody else worked the work to get you.
And they threw your face on the brand, and then bam, that's where you came from.
Right.
But somebody still had to build that.
I'm braiding right now as I'm talking to y'all.
Get that money, honey.
Yes.
I can't. Oh, you in Atlanta, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm in Douglasville right now.
Okay.
Hey.
When you go back?
At some point tonight or early tomorrow morning.
Okay. You could have
came.
Yes, I'm right over here. I'm off 85. You gotta pass me.
Right.
We know for next time. I will definitely let you know ahead of time.
Exactly.
Cause I ain't know until I saw her story. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, wait a minute. I'm gonna need y'all to check in. Look.
But I'm gonna see this bitch all weekend, my birthday weekend in Puerto Rico.
Listen, this girl got me.
She gonna be the only sober one trying to get us together.
Look good. Please get her together. Hold her hand.
I'm not playing with her.
I'm trying to go to jail.
No, she not. Disclaimer.
Andale, mama. Yeah. Oh, what's happening now?
That means help me, stupid.
No, for real though. I can't wait until everything comes into fruition for everybody in 2021, because I think 2020 was such a hard year that this year was supposed to be and is supposed to be hopeful. Yeah. And January is starting off a little rough for the government, not for me, but for the government. And I just hope that it's just going to continue to blossom into what we need it to be.
Correct.
Which is change. And we do need a change in this world. And I'm just glad that, I don't represent a certain party, but I am more on the Democrat side. And I'm glad that they have control of the House. Or the Senate. And I'm just glad that, there's a black woman in office, whether she was a DA or PA or whatever she was. I don't care what she was. Let me tell y'all something. This is history.
Yes. And
when you try to take away from history because of somebody's history, you have got it all fucked up. Yeah. This is a black woman in a vice president position, not a secretary of state, not a cabinet office holder. Like, this is the second in command.
They wasn't ready.
Okay. No. So if Biden, Lord forbid, croak before the 4 years is over, she is the president. Correct. And I'm going to need everybody to realize that shit.
We're going to need everybody to respect that shit.
Respect the crown. Respect the blackness. And on Inauguration Day, which is the 20th of January, every woman, black or white, I don't care what you are, you're supposed to wear a blazer, jeans, and Chuck Taylors.
And your Chuck Taylors, girl, I got my purple ones.
Thank you, Tiff, for sharing that with me.
Look,
because
got a whole closet in here full of
that was a good post to share because we need to be in unity. And if a black woman can dress like that and be taken serious, we have gotten somewhere.
Yes.
So I need every black woman that's listening to this podcast, whether it's Clubhouse,
YouTube,
Instagram, and Linktree, look, wear your blazer, your jeans, and your Chuck Taylors on January the 20th. Please and thank you.
Exactly.
And post tag and post and hashtag.
Yes.
Do we have a hashtag for that day?
We're gonna have to start one.
Inauguration 2021 or inauguration
Harris 21.
Harris 21.
Y'all,
We're gonna come up with some stuff. We'll come up with some hashtags and we'll share them on the Slick Talk Radio page. And Tiff, we appreciate you for being on here today and talking with us because you are a big influence in this industry and we appreciate it.
Nice meeting you, Tiff. Hold up, Tiff. I'm going to send you a follow.
She about to follow you.
So I will hit y'all. Let me get back to Brady.
Yes,
right.
love you. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. So we thank y'all for chiming in with the girls of Slick Talk.
Yes, this is Ms. Iverson signing off.
And this is Hunny. Until next time.
Ew.